Cue the flashlight beam, damp basement, and… In the 90s, we hunted aliens on dial-up forums, swore smoking was evil, and learned that autopsies are best done in perfect makeup. 30 years later, our favorite agents and antagonists have scattered across pop culture like fluke worms in Newark sewers. Let's open the case files. Walter Skinner, the assistant director who could glare hard enough to revoke Christmas, yet still foot drag to bail Mulder out of HR hell. An ex-Marine with the patience of a saint, an occasional shirtless flashback nobody asked for. Mitch Pileggi swapped Bureau Blues for sci-fi grays in Stargate Atlantis, traded memos with Sam Crow on Sons of Anarchy, then tightened a Stetson in the new Walker. Guest spots on half the procedural alphabet keep him perma-employed. Off-screen, Pileggi married Arlene Warren, who interestingly was Gillian Anderson's stand-in on The X-Files. Talk about keeping it in the family! Open about alopecia universalis since college, he turned hairless intimidation into a brand, and even sells hot sauce at conventions, proving the man can market anything. Pileggi splits time between a Texas set series and voiceover gigs, and still signs autograph, Semper Fi, boss. Dana Scully, skeptic scientist, Catholic guilt trips, queen of the eyebrow arch. She autopsied everything from liver-eating mutants to her own love life, and basically invented power walking in 3-inch heels. Soon after The X-Files wrapped, Gillian Anderson tackled Dickens in Bleak House, danced with serial killers in The Fall, crushed it as sex therapist Jean in Sex Education, ruled Buckingham as Margaret Thatcher in The Crown, and filmed Holocaust drama Whitebird. Off-screen, she splits her time between London and LA, while co-founding South African Youth Education for Sustainability, SAS, to mentor vulnerable teens, serving as a global ambassador to War Child and Women for Women International, and lending her voice as an honorary spokesperson for the Neurofibromatosis Network, turning every charity appearance into a masterclass in real-world X-File heroism. Now she's developing a spy miniseries to headline and produce while polishing off a second book of feminist essays, because the truth is still in her filing cabinet. Color-coded, naturally. Cigarette smoking man, human chimney, government hydra, master of the dramatic puff. Could cancel Christmas, Elvis, and your Wi-Fi with one phone call. After his reign of smoke on The X-Files, William B. Davis schemed on Smallville, warped timelines in Continuum, and served as Ori Pryor Demarius in Stargate SG-1, then returned for the 2016 revival more radioactive than ever. In real life, he's a competitive water ski champion into his 80s, and his memoir, Where's the Smoke, reveals he'd never actually smoked before the role. Nowadays, he teaches scene study in Vancouver, pops up in indie horror, and politely refuses every fan who tries to hand him a Marlboro for selfies. John Doggett, ex-Marine bulldog who thought little green men were a hazing ritual until he met one. Think Terminator reboot with an FBI badge and zero patience for Mulder slideshow theories. Once The X-Files wrapped, Robert Patrick led Delta Force in the unit, cracked cyber cases on Scorpion, and most recently, stole every scene in Peacemaker as DC's worst dad. Off-screen, he rides charity motorcycle tours coast to coast, joking that leather beats liquid metal for comfort, and he still runs 6 miles a day for that T1000 cardio. Currently, he's negotiating 2 gritty cop pilots and popping up in a country music biopic, because apparently the man never sleeps. He reboots. The Lone Gunman. Trench coat hackers with dial-up dreams, proofreading Mobius strips for typos and facts in Mulder conspiracy memes before memes even existed. Their popularity even earned them a short-lived eponymous spin-off series, The Lone Gunman, on Fox in 2001. Byers, Frohike, and Langley, the trench-coated whiz kids who hacked the Pentagon before Wi-Fi, faxed Mulder's wild theories on dial-up lines, and turned basement booths into conspiracy HQs. After their X-Files glory days, Dean Hoglan parlayed Langley's hacker instincts into the ChillPack laptop cooler, one of the first gel-based USB-powered notebook chillers on the market. Bruce Harwood reappeared as Professor Darby on Batwoman and snagged guest spots in Stargate SG-1 and Smallville. And Tom Braidwood swapped Frohike's conspiracies for clapboards, serving as first assistant director on The X-Files and Millennium before cameoing as Frohike in the Season 10 Babylon. Off the grid, Hoagland digs into haunted home makeovers on hellacious renovations with Dean Hoagland. Harwood keeps the Bard spirit alive, co-founding Vancouver's Bard on the Beach Shakespeare Festival. And Braidwood, ever the backstage mastermind, mentors Vancouver's rising assistant directors, proving some legends thrive off-camera. Fox Mulder, basement-dwelling crusader, sunflower seed sommelier, owner of the world's worst slide projector, believes everything except the FBI dress code. When his abducting aliens days went on hiatus, David Duchovny spent 7 seasons of Californication workshopping midlife crises, dropped 2 alt-rock albums, tracked Charles Manson in Aquarius, and returned for the 2016 miniseries Because Aliens Pay Better Residuals Than Alimony. In real life, he earned a master's from Yale, published 4 novels, and spoke publicly about addiction recovery, proving even alien hunters need therapy. These days, he's touring his band in mid-sized venues, adapting his desert spiritual novel Truly Like Lightning for TV, and fronting history's new docuseries Secrets Declassified with David Duchovny, pulling back the curtain on government mysteries every Friday. Alex Krycek, rat-tailed triple agent whose moral compass was a roulette wheel. If betrayal were an Olympic event, he'd podium. Once the alien dust settled in those FBI corridors, Nicholas Lea starred in Whistler, popped quivers into Arrow, and mentored a young genius as tutor Tom Foss in Kyle XY. Off-camera, he co-founded a Vancouver mentorship program pairing at-risk teens with film sets, proving the guy who pushed Mulder downstairs has a philanthropic spine. He most recently appeared as Judge John Neal in Netflix's The House of the Fall of Usher. Today, he remains deeply embedded in Vancouver's acting community as a member of the board of directors for the Lyric School of Acting. Monica Reyes, empathic agent with New Age learnings, Desert Sun intuition, and the patience to babysit Doggett and Scully through alien childbirth plotlines. Stepping out of those shadowy corridors, Annabeth Gish jumped to the gritty border drama The Bridge, coded Silicon Dreams on Halt and Catch Fire, then turned vampire hunter in Midnight Mass and gothic matriarch in The Fall of the House of Usher. Off-screen, she splits time between Hollywood and her family farm in Iowa, swearing that fresh air is the key to memorizing monologues about ancient curses. Nowadays, Annabeth Gish commands every dusty rodeo scene with unshakable grit in the 2024 American crime drama film Ride, conjuring more supernatural love in AMC's freshly renewed Mayfair Witches Season 3, and suits up as Denise Westfield in Paramount Plus's action-packed thriller Lioness. Case closed. Kind of. Skinner's still barking orders, Scully's running multiple empires, Mulder's on a boat tour with a guitar, and the cigarette man refuses to burn out. Whether blues clubs, comic-cons, or royal courts, the truth fought to get out, and so did this cast. Rewatch that cold open autopsy, dig out your glow-in-the-dark I Wanna Believe poster, and drop your favorite episode below. Just remember, if this video mysteriously disappears, trust no one. Except maybe the lone gunman's backup server?